Hey everybody, welcome to JavaScript in FileMaker. This is going to be just a quick little tip of answering a question that people have asked about. I'm looking forward to explaining to you how to take the work that you're doing in this development environment and attach it to a real life file. Let's get started. So just as a little bit of a recap, we have our code over here in JavaScript in VS Code, and we are working on it to get it to look nice for the FileMaker file. Currently, we're using the JSDev file, which is perfectly fine for development, but honestly, I wouldn't do that for very long past an initial stage. At some point, you want to actually connect this to your client file, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do. So I've got a client file here. Actually, it's just the inventory file, and just made a brand new file. There's no records in it or anything, and the schema is pretty sparse. And we're just going to use this as an example of a real client file. This is a local file, but this does not have to be local. It could certainly be a hosted file. That's important to know. The first thing you want to do is copy elements from the JSDev into your real file. So here it is, the real file, and I'm going to copy the table from the JSDev and paste it into this file. And then I'm going to grab those scripts, copy them, and paste them over here into there. Now, if there are any errors with these scripts, they will pop up in the script workspace. That's a great feature of recent versions of FileMaker. Looks like there aren't any issues in this one because none of the scripts popped up, but it is a possibility. If so, simply go and fix those script steps. Pretty much the only ones that you'll have to fix are the ones that deal with fields, like the upload to HTML script and the load web viewer script near the top. But since I copied the table first into my real app, it's perfectly fine. You don't have to have it be the HTML table. You could actually use a preferences table to put the HTML. It's perfectly fine. You would just then need to update these two scripts to map to the field in the preferences table or the config table that you want. All right, now that we have the scripts loaded, we'll simply go back to the regular file here, the JSDev, and we'll just copy these buttons and the web viewer. And I'll go over here and create a new layout. This could have any context. For now, we'll keep it simple and keep it on that HTML context, but it doesn't have to have that context. And then we'll paste those items in. Now, this didn't paste very well, so we need to take a moment to fix things up. First thing we'll do is, actually the first thing I'm going to do is change the theme to the Apex Blue. There we go, and I'll put this up here. I usually put that over on the right side. And then these, I'll just leave them there. I guess that's fine. Just take a moment to manipulate the layout objects as you want. Okay, so now this is ready to go. As long as your FileMaker or your VS Code is running, your development server is running here, and as long as you go into dev mode, remember, since we copied the scripts in and then the buttons, this attached to the script right away, we can load the web viewer, and the same exact stuff that's over here is now in our local file. And this is really handy because now I want to work with real life customer data. So I can go to the load data script, and instead of using sample data, I can actually go to real data table, collect the data, format it the way that I need it to, and then bring it into this widget. One last thing we need to do, because at some point you're going to want to deploy this file, the code that you're writing, into your real file. we need to point the development environment to your real file for the deployment stage. Back in your real file, let's just add a record to the HTML. We're going to definitely need that when we do our work here. Again, if you already have a preferences table, it's perfectly fine. You don't need that record. All right, and then we're going to go to the environment, and in the folder called scripts, the file called upload, simply change this line 4 from the JS dev to whatever your file name is. And it will then find that open file. So this $sign on the server line means that it's just an open file and it's the inventory. This script will run during the deployment process. So you need to make sure that that script in your real client file is pointed correctly to the right layouts and the right fields. Okay, now that we have those changes made, we can run a deployment. Let's do that. Back over here in our environment, we'll stop the server, and we'll do npm run build :upload. And after just a couple seconds, it will load that to your file, except for this problem, which I always forget about. Your access privileges do not allow you to perform this action. It's a simple fix. Go to Manage, Security. For your full access, go into Advanced Settings, Full Access, Edit, and down here, allow URLs to run FileMaker scripts. Save that out. Now rerun it over here in the environment, and there we go. Now that HTML field has all of the code from our environment, and it's ready for you to use. All right, that's just a simple way of reconnecting the environment from the development to your own client file. Good luck.